So I'm going to go over how you need to set up your project file for your poster that you're going to be creating for this class. So you need to just look through the specs and make sure you are kind of meeting the required specs. For this poster, you do need to set it up as 11 inches by 17, portrait orientation, and I give you a resolution of 200 ppi. So let's go in and you're going to create a new file. I've already got it set up here. You want to go ahead and name that 11 inches wide and 17 inches high. Portrait orientation and resolution will be 200. You can go ahead and set up your color mode, change that to CMYK, and then we will create that. Okay, so let me get rid of some stuff here. Right now I don't see my rulers on the sides, and I'm going to go in and set up some margins here. Setting up margins in Photoshop is a little bit different than your other applications, so I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm going to do Command R on my keyboard so that I can see these rulers here. Make sure that you're seeing the right unit of measurement. We don't want to be using pixels or anything like that. So in order to change that, you can right click on your ruler and just make sure that you have inches selected. So now we can go in and let's create some sort of margin to work with. You're certainly going to need that when you are creating your layout to make sure that you're not getting too close to the edge, especially with your type. Now I know that you're going to want some of these things to kind of bleed off, and that's fine. And there are different ways to set up bleeds and stuff in Photoshop, but we're just going to set up a margin. So I want you to come up to View, you can go down to Guides, and you're going to create New Guide Layout. So by default it's going to try to give you some columns here probably. You can just turn those off, or depending on what you want to do, if you want to utilize those columns and rows to organize your elements and things, you can absolutely do that to establish a grid. I'm going to turn those off, and I'm just going to come down here to margin. And I would recommend for something like this, a half inch is okay, but I'm going to create a 1 inch margin all the way around. So I have nice guidelines pulled in. I didn't have to manually pull it out. I can just create it that way. So I can click OK here. So now this margin I've created here, that doesn't mean that you have to avoid getting into this space at all. This is just a way for you to make sure that you stay in alignment with your type and you're not getting too close to the edge of your document with your type especially. Okay, so just some quick kind of review on how you're going to build this thing. So I've kind of already gone and tried to find some nice images that I can work with. So I'm just going to show you some examples here. So remember that to get those images in here, you can place linked or embedded, and then you can navigate to that file. So let me go in, and I'm just going to grab a wall texture so you can just go in and place those images and rearrange things like you want them to be. Okay, so all of the things that we've learned so far in this course is what you're going to be utilizing for this. Just a quick review. I'm going to go in and I'm going to open an image. I'm going to grab this one, open that up. Now you can use all of your blending modes and all of the things that you've learned, but I'm just going to take this image and I just want to remove the background, and I'm just going to show you if you have a separate tab open in Photoshop, you can also kind of select and drag that into the appropriate tab that you want to be. So I've taken and removed this background for this image. With my move tool I can select that and just drag it up, hover over that tab, and then drag it down here, and it will place it inside of that document and create a new layer. And check out, it's got also the mask that it created earlier, which is very nice. So it's going to be totally up to you. You have creative freedom about how you're going to place all these things together. You can use as many images and different graphics as you want. You can use vector images. You can pull those into Photoshop as well. Anything that you want to do to make this unique.